Yeah, hey, it's me, Howard again. I like talking about horror movies, so it's me, but it's not just me. As you know, we got my puggles. Let's see, we got this here. There's Daisy. Hey, Daisy. And Pony. Hello. Yeah, they're here to protect me when I watch the movies if I get scared, and thank goodness for them. Today I wanted to talk about movies that mean a lot to me, especially from when I was a kid. A couple movies I watched over the last 2 days. George Romero. The last 2 days I watched his Day of the Dead and Land of the Dead. And first I got to talk real fast about when I was a kid because childhood is so fascinating. I was about like 7-ish when I saw a commercial for Dawn of the Dead, and and I'll never forget. This voice comes on. It says something like when hell is full, the dead will walk the earth, and then all these like zombies burst through a door. It scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. But at the same time, I thought to myself, I got to see that. It's like, some people see that and they go, "Ooh, I don't want anything to do with that." Some of us see that and we're like, wow, I have to see that. I was on the latter, obviously. I didn't see it in the theater. I was too young, but a few years later, I think I was about 10, when a local channel was running on Halloween a midnight showing of Night of the Living Dead. And back then, our parents were like, yeah, go do it. So I stayed up and watched it, and I was amazed by it. The audacity, the vision, the gore, the crossing every taboo line you could think of. I did then see Dawn of the Dead a couple of years later. Sacrilegious. I really like the James Gunn, Zack Snyder one. We don't talk about that, but that blew me away too. But I gotta say, that was a lot of Tom Savini. That was him saying, "I'm gonna show you what I can do with like pig intestines, red dye, and whatever the hell else comes to my mind." When you put Savini and Romero, you got two geniuses together. And again, as a kid, that blew me away. Now, I actually saw Day of the Dead in the theater when it came out. And, I liked it, but I remember liking the gore. I liked the zombie sitting up and all his, entire guts all slide out. Yeah, good stuff when you're like a 14-year-old kid. But at the same time, watching it again, that's one movie. Like Night of the Living Dead, I watched a bunch of times, and Dawn of the Dead, I've seen a few times. I had not seen Day of the Dead from that day in the theater when I was just a kid till, just now, yesterday. I saw it on, I could tell you the network, I think that's helpful. Hulu. It was on Hulu. And it's amazing, because as a kid, you're watching the gore, the action. But Romero was so bleak on humanity by that point that if you Day of the Dead, you basically got zombies have overrun the world. You don't know if anyone's left, and you got military people and scientists sharing this underground bunker. And the military people are horrific. Everyone's a stereotype. You realize real quick that the zombies are actually more sympathetic than the humans. They're run by this guy, like Joe Polito is the actor. It's funny, I never heard of him. He looks a lot like Nathan Fillion, but I never seen him anything else until I read he was in Pulp Fiction in the that scene where the heck was it, where they dance. He played Dean Martin, where Steve Buscemi played Buddy Holly. So that's kind of cool. But the soldiers are just horrific. But the scientists, who are supposed to be more sympathetic, and some of them are, I mean, the lead one, they call Frankenstein, and he literally torments the zombies. He's a monster. So you're like, wow, at some point, George Romero said, maybe the zombies should win. Maybe they're the good guys in this story. And like I used the word before, I'll say again, that's pretty damn bleak. That said, you still got Tom Savini doing the most ridiculous special effects. Nobody did more with pig intestines and fake guts. He was the master, still is the master. So I definitely recommend Day of the Dead. I definitely recommend both the message Romero is giving and also the story. It's quick. It's simple. Takes place in like this underground bunker, which I understand is still around, and you can do tours there. I think was like a mine or something. And I definitely, seeing it as an adult versus seeing it as a kid was definitely eye opening. Today I saw A Land of the Dead. One thing I want to point out, which I think is interesting, is, Land of the Dead came out a long time after Day of the Day. The Dead came out in like 85. I mean, we're talking, I think it was like close to 20 years later, Land of the Dead came out. So I don't know if Romero would kind of put zombies away for a little while, or he'd always just planned on this. But again, it was a little bit of a difference because, we had a little bit of a higher budget, there are recognizable people in the cast, guys like John Leguizamo and Dennis Hopper and Simon Baker, who was in a TV show once, I think. And again, the premise is that, Romero again is looking at humanity and saying, wow, do we suck? Because you've now got like this tower where like the rich live, and you've got like the slums around them where the people who go out and go into like the destroyed society and like, find food and alcohol and stuff like that. Oh, by the way, the most unrealistic thing about the movie is that there'd be any alcohol left at that point. But regardless, and then they bring it back and, bring it to the rich. And then the zombies are like kept out. And his concept, the movie is entertaining. It is well done. And Romero was still sticking it to us, saying, yeah, even in these circumstances, come on, the rich are going to have it all. The rest of us are going to work for them. I mean, Romero never lost his edge. At the same time, you don't have Tom Savini. It is a little more mainstream, but it's quick, it's entertaining, and it's fun. I had never seen this one before. Not when it came out, not till today. But, I gotta say, George Romero, he's real raw in his stories. Real raw in the dialogue, real raw in the acting he allows, which isn't always the best. But at the same time, he literally created a genre. He literally, his own audacity, said, I am gonna, create a world that you're all gonna follow. And at the same time I do this, I'm gonna let you know how pissed off I am that we as a species are such a bunch of idiots. Mr. Romero wasn't with us anymore. He died, I think it was 2017, I read. So I'm just gonna give him a little toast. Mr. Romero, I thank you. I thank you for the movies. I thank you for all the spin-offs and genres and TV shows and everything that came after you. I thank you that you didn't do those super fast zombies because they traumatized me even more. But at the same time, you created a world that really had a message, entertained us, and at the best of times, grossed us out. So thank you, Mr. Romero. So those are my reviews for today. I'll have some more shortly. I thank you for listening. Let's all say goodnight to the most important ones. Daisy? All right, can you get Daisy there? Can we get her? Oh, she's resting. Pony here is definitely ready to go to sleep. And the two of them keep me safe when I get scared while watching these movies. Thanks, Pony. Have a good night. Enjoy the horror movies. Enjoy October.